What up, I'm Rob Pace. I forgot what I was gonna say. What up, I'm Rob Pace. We're gonna check out some of my favorites from the Santa Cruz video. The 50 the boardy, it was like a bit random. When I went there and like checked it out, I noticed that like at the end of the rail there's like another rail they could potentially transfer to. So I ended up popping on the 50 and then trying the board slide. So this spot kind of nearly took me out on one of the attempts. I ended up, you know, locking in the 50, slid the board slide, and on the end of the down rail, it's got like a little kink on the end. So I was sort of battling with that. And there's also like a wall, probably like a couple of feet away from the rail. So every time I'm trying to land half sideways. There was like smooth concrete and then really rough concrete.
Oh, head. Just a little road rash.
Ended up getting up and feeling okay and keeping at it. Ended up getting the trick. This trick was just like something I could never really done before because it was like, just like its sheer uniqueness of the spot. You know, I'd done a 50 and a board slide before, but to do it in this way, I thought would be really cool and something that I hadn't really seen myself before. So definitely something I was hyped to try get done.
Oh, thanks, brother. Did it.
Oh man, the 50 to backsmith is definitely one of my favorites. I was staying at my homie's house for a couple of months and I seen in like a mag an independent ad of Kevin Backle doing a 50 drop to 50 on it. And I was like so eager to find like, we'll go to the spot. Turns out Rhino ended up giving us the pin and heading out there, and it ended up being like pretty much everything I really wanted in the spot. I really just wanted to try do some type of different trick on the drop down and ended up choosing backsmith, and it all worked out. Definitely got smoked a couple times on this one. There was like a bunch of times where I'd like miss the 50 lock in and like slip out and just land straight on my ribs on the flat section of the kink. And I think that happened maybe like 3 or 4 times, but it was like one of those spots I was just super like, so much adrenaline going on. I just wanted to get it done and ended up pushing through all of that. And I do know that at the end of that day, I was extremely sore. This one's definitely one of my favorites because it's the first time I've ever landed a trick with a snap kick rollaway. It was just like added to the excitement of just rolling away from that one. Definitely super hyped. And a couple of months later, I ended up getting the Thrasher cover with it. So that was definitely a monumental, like an achievement for myself that I was hyped on.
How was the session for that trip?
It was super good. I had like a bunch of homies there, Colin, Provost, and a bunch of other people just like hyping up the session. So I ended up getting it done, I feel like, with the help of my friends there as well. The next couple of tricks are my favorites because they were all done within like a day of each other on the same trip. So we were staying out in Pittsburgh and a homie out there sent us this spot. It was like a drop down rail that kind of had this perfect like turn in it. So it almost worked out perfectly to do like the crook, and then if you were to drop like straight, it would land perfectly in a board slide. I feel like the uniqueness of the spot really like created the trick idea, just it being so perfect for it.
Oh.
I ended up like having a couple of goes at the crook and like testing the board slide, and almost like straight away locked in the board slide like perfectly. And like I guess straight from like that one lock in, I kind of just knew it was a go.
Damn, dude.
It's definitely one of my favorite things about this trick is I like got away from this spot completely unscathed. I didn't get hurt, I didn't like fall weird or anything like that. So definitely a lucky one.
What a trip this has been. This is insane. Just 3 of the fucking hardest things I've ever done on a skateboard, somehow in 3 days.
The Smith grind was definitely a unique one. It was kind of like a bonus trick, it felt like. We had originally planned to go to a spot out in New York that had like, it was like a 50, gap to 50, gap to 50. And on that same trip, we had found that there's a big curved rail that a bunch of people had tried previously before. So we ended up going out there, and I was like warming up on trying to like do the 50. I eventually landed the 50, and then I knew I really wanted to get like a maxed out Smith grind. So this was the one I felt like was the perfect spot for it. I ended up just battling this Smith grind for a while, but with this spot, it was a bit weird. Like the big curve in it, it would like, the one part of the rail where you would gain all the speed, there was like a perfect tree in line. So if you bail over the top of the rail, you're just like heading perfectly for the tree. There was a couple of times on the Smith grind where I was like locking in and rolling up over the top and trying to hang on, but I couldn't like stop it from like continuing over the top of the rail. So there was definitely a few attempts where I came like so close to this tree, and like, man, like running out, the whole ground was completely covered in leaves and just shrub on the ground. So there was like no grip. You're kind of just sliding all through the leaves and just trying to like get some grip on the ground to survive the fall. Psyched on this trick because it's just like the length of this Smith grind. I feel like it might be like one of the longest, most maxed out Smiths I ever do. So I guess just getting away with this one was something I was just real hyped with. So I got like a DM on Instagram a while ago. It was like this perfect rail, like gap to rail, gap to rail.
He's so excited.
I'd been staring at this spot on my phone for like nearly a year at least, until we finally get the pin for like where it is exactly, and we ended up going out there and getting it done. There was like one of these attempts where like I like locked into the last rail and ran out like real weird and kind of jarred my knee. So all the way up into landing it, I was just like constantly thinking about my knee, making sure it was going to be okay. Because man, the adventure to get out to this spot was insane. I mean, and I pretty much flew out for the trip to sort of get this one done. So to get it done was something I was really stoked on.
What, any wild or unusual stories from this session?
There was like this lady that was kicking us out. She was losing her mind.
I really just want somebody to f***ing listen to me. And you know what? Like, you guys like not listening to me, that really annoys me. And that's why I care so much.
She like was not having it at all. We tried to reason with her, tried to basically do everything we could possibly do to just allow us to skate it for an extra 10 minutes. And she just would not have it. There was no talking her down. She wanted us out of there. So we left a couple of times and kept coming back, and to eventually have just got it done and overcome all of that was just so good. Like, we were so hyped to finally just got it done and get out of there. This trick was like one of the last tricks I was filming for my video part, so had it on my phone for like over a year. So to get there and get it done and just know that my video part's now finished was just like adding to the stoke of the day. Like, as soon as we got that done, man, we packed up and we were just like, we're out of here. We're like video complete. These have been my favorite tricks from the Santa Cruz fucking video because of all the stories and memories that have come along with them. Thanks for watching.